As Garcia gets that right hand in. It wasn't the perfect right hand for him, but it was a nice punch, and it landed, and there.
Yeah, Ryan, you're a legend, Ryan. I love you, Ryan.
It's just about a month away now from one of the biggest nights in the fight world. Ever since Ryan announced his upcoming fight with Raleigh, he's been filled with confidence. He can't stop talking about how he's going to knock out the trash-talking fighter.
I put Broly to sleep with a left hook. That's it. That's what you're gonna see. Period.
However, after the recent press conference, Ryan's words have taken a different tone. The rivalry between these two fighters is nothing new. From heated rants on social media to real-life tension, the build-up to this fight is only getting more intense. The face-off at the conference added even more fuel to the fire when Garcia shoved Raleigh. It's no surprise, really, considering how Ryan views Raleigh.
That's a part of it, but Broly's, to me, he's not the same. Like, when I look at him in the eyes, I'm like, all right, like, I got him. Like, he lost his fire, too. I'm like, damn, I'm about to eat him up. Like, I feel like he's just food right now.
And why do you say that? Because
I feel like he's...
I don't want to knock him out. I want to punish Ryan Garcia. I'm not saying that he's punishing him.
But now, Ryan's perspective has changed. He's openly admitting that this might be the toughest fight he's ever faced. He's been talking about how dangerous Raleigh is, even mentioning that Tank Davis has said Raleigh's punches are incredibly powerful. Ryan now says that if he gets hit with one clean shot, it could be the end of the fight. He's no longer underestimating Raleigh's power. Instead, he's staying on high alert, saying that Raleigh might not be the most skilled fighter, but if he lands a punch, it's all over. This isn't the same Ryan Garcia who was laughing at Rigby's chances just a few weeks ago. Ryan used to say he'd knock him out, but now it almost sounds like Ryan is the one being extra cautious. Or maybe he's just trying to make it clear that the victory won't come easily.
okay, so let's say for this particular fight against Raleigh, would you be making more than 10 million? More than 15? Damn. 20?
He understands this generation on how to promote fights. You know, he should be seeing what he's bringing.
He wants him to punish him, but Davis said he was going to stop him in the 7th or 8th, and we're 10 seconds.
From Ryan's new perspective, this fight might actually be a bigger risk than facing Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez. But many fans believe Ryan is just saying this to hype up the fight. It's definitely not what people expected to hear. Raleigh may be reckless, wild, and unorthodox, but Ryan is giving him more credit than even some of his toughest competitors. Ryan knows that in this fight, he needs to avoid getting hit cleanly. Raleigh is dangerous for about 6 rounds, throwing everything he has in that time. Ryan says that if he hurts Raleigh early, he has to finish him right then and there. He doesn't want this fight to drag on, and the reason for that is simple: to avoid getting hit by the powerful punches that Tank Davis has been warning about.
Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? They both.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard. People be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously. But yeah, if he don't got no chin now, so Rolly be getting caught, but Rolly, he can hit, bro. Like, he can hit.
Even with all the risks, Ryan Garcia is entering this fight with a new mindset. He understands the threat that Romero brings to the table, but he doesn't believe that power alone will determine the outcome. For Ryan, this fight is about something much deeper: his drive, his purpose, and his commitment to proving himself on the biggest stage. Experts agree that Ryan isn't the same fighter who allowed distractions to take over before his fight with Devin Haney.
But I'm coming back to announce I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight. That's the only thing I'm going to be talking about, and I'm training for this fight. I want everybody to know.
Ryan has openly admitted to his past mistakes, acknowledging that he didn't carry himself like a true professional back then. But now, he's fully focused. He's training harder, taking everything seriously, and making sure there's no room for excuses. Ryan knows people still doubt him, and he's determined to show them that he's more than just talk. He's here to prove he's ready to dominate. What sets Ryan apart in this fight isn't just his skill or his speed, it's his purpose. He's not just fighting to win, he's fighting to prove that he deserves to be counted among the best. That's the driving force behind his return.
They land, they can do some damage. And Ryan Garcia, look, he's coming off, it's going to be about a year now. He's hungry.
He's hungry to get on top. He's hungry to be world champion.
Missed with that sweeping left hook.
Look at those feints from Davis, not committing when he doesn't need.
Ryan is already looking ahead to bigger fights, tougher challenges, and bigger names. But he also knows he can't afford to overlook Rolly. This fight is a statement fight for him. It's his chance to show the world that the setbacks, the doubts, and the criticism don't define who he is, his performances do. Rolly is unpredictable, aggressive, and wild, but Ryan believes his discipline will break him down. He's not planning on getting caught up in a reckless brawl or letting Rolly pull him into a messy fight.
He hasn't really made that many adjustments, to be honest. Still making a lot of the same mistakes, still kind of fighting the same. His chin actually looks like it's...
Ryan knows exactly what he needs to do: stay sharp, stay patient, and take advantage of Rolly's mistakes. He's not stepping into this fight just hoping for a win, he's going in with the mindset that he will dominate. Ryan sees this fight as a personal challenge, not just another opponent to get past. He's fighting for respect. He's fighting for his legacy. He's fighting to prove that he belongs among the best in the sport. No matter what anyone says, he's faced doubts, setbacks, and criticism, but he's using all of it as motivation. He's not here to mess around, he's here to make a statement.
No, don't try too much. You know, Rolly's going to give you everything you want. So kind of just going to let the fight come to me, and then I'm going to take over. You know, I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel like...
Much more focused on landing that right hand in this round. Even there, he just missed one. But the ones he's landing...
According to his father, when Ryan steps into the ring, he won't just be facing Romero. He'll be fighting against the doubts, the critics, and everything that's ever tried to hold him back. He knows Rolly is dangerous, but he also understands that hunger and purpose will always outweigh raw power. When that bell rings, Ryan is ready to prove why he believes this is his moment. However, before this, Ryan Garcia never saw Romero as a real threat. And that's why some fans are now starting to question him.
Ryan Garcia going up to 147. I'm not going to say, I think he's going to be fast. I'm not sure if his strength is going to translate to 147. It went with him to 140, but that doesn't mean it's going to go with him to 147 because that's welterweight. And now, he's back with Eddie Reynoso. So I want to say, in my opinion, he looked alright with Eddie Reynoso. He looked his best in my opinion.
To Ryan, Rolly was just another name on the list, another fighter who talked a big game but wouldn't last once the punches started landing. The way Ryan talked about the fight made it clear that he didn't just expect to win, he expected to make Rolly look bad. He didn't see Rolly as someone who could truly challenge him. In Ryan's mind, this wasn't a 50-50 fight. It wasn't even close. It was just a fight to keep him busy until he could focus on what really mattered, his rematch with Devin Haney.
I'm not taking him lightly or anything like that. You know, I'm still going to train my best, but, you know, everybody really wants to see the rematch, and that's where my heart's at. I just got to, you know, prepare well, and I know I'm the best.
Decided to forego a final fight. Was supposed to face Macedo just up before this fight. Said, no, I'll wait.
From the moment the fight was announced, Ryan made it clear that his main focus was on Devin Haney. He didn't try to hide it at all. While Rolly was busy hyping up the fight, claiming he was going to shock the world, Ryan barely gave him any attention. Ryan was already thinking ahead and making plans for what came next. He wasn't seeing this as a real challenge. To him, it was just a formality. As far as Ryan was concerned, the fight was already decided. He just had to show up, land his punches, and get out of there.
Ryan, obviously the boxing world, they just want the Haney rematch so it could be settled once and for all. What is your message? Obviously, you guys are going through the lawsuit right now, but if you and Devin can run it back again, under what terms would it be?
Run it back the same way, just a little higher weight class.
Ryan's confidence came from knowing that Rolly wasn't the most skilled fighter. He saw Rolly's wild, looping punches and realized that against someone faster and more precise, that style wouldn't work. Rolly has power, yes, but Ryan didn't respect his skill level. He didn't see any real threat in front of him. Even when Ryan admitted that Rolly could hit hard, it was never out of fear, it was just a fact. Rolly could punch hard, but so what? Power alone doesn't mean much when the other fighter is faster, sharper, and far more talented. However, Rolly's fans argue that if Rolly was able to outclass Ryan in sparring, he could do the same in an actual fight.
Joe Guzman has done a really good job with Ryan Garcia.
At the press conference, Ryan didn't try to make it seem like this fight would be close. He straight up predicted a knockout and said exactly how it would happen, a left hook, just like always. He wasn't worried about Raleigh's awkward style or his power. He didn't say things like, "I have to be careful," or "This is going to be a tough fight." No, Ryan said exactly what was on his mind. "I'll put Raleigh to sleep with a left hook." That's it. He wasn't just predicting a knockout, he was completely dismissing Raleigh. There was no hesitation, no doubt, nothing that sounded like he was second-guessing himself. He spoke with pure confidence, like he already knew how the fight would end before it even started. And that's how Raleigh saw it too, unconcerned about any real threats.
How concerned are you with that left hook that he is so proud of?
Not very concerned at all.
At all?
At all.
You're going to defend it? You're going to stop it? How do you...
Even the way Ryan talked about his training showed his mindset. He wasn't saying, "I need to be 100% focused on this fight." Instead, he said, "I'm still going to train my best, but everyone wants to see the rematch with Haney, and that's where my heart is." He was already looking ahead. To him, Raleigh was just a small step in his journey. Fighters who truly believe they're heading into a tough fight don't talk like that. They don't spend the whole press conference talking about a future fight before they even step into the ring. When a fighter is fully focused on an opponent, they speak about them with a certain level of seriousness. But Ryan talked about Raleigh like he was an afterthought.
Is it something similar that because Ryan knew Devin so well, he knew how to fight him? Is that like the mirror with this fight, that you know Ryan so well that you know what to throw at him?
There's no fear with Devin. Devin don't have no power.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, want to come in all that extra weight, overweight. So, I mean, that makes a big difference. You know, there's still a lot of controversy going on with that fight. Aside from that, Devin was winning damn near every round that he didn't get dropped. Even the rounds he got dropped to.
Sharp jab by Garcia.
Ryan made it clear that he already saw Raleigh's fate as decided. To him, this fight felt more like a showcase. He believed he would go in, put on a performance, and finish the fight in a dominant way. That's why he didn't hesitate when asked about making a statement. To Ryan, every fight was a statement, but this one was about more than just winning. It was about proving that he was on a completely different level than Raleigh and showing that he was ready for bigger challenges. Raleigh, on the other hand, took this fight very personally. But the truth is, fans see it too.
Ryan Garcia, obviously, you know, one of the reasons that made Rolly famous was the video of him and Ryan boxing. So, to kind of bring that back full circle and see who would really win in the fight, you know what I mean? Because, you know, in sparring, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like, anything can happen. But when it's real, when it's for everything, who wins?
Okay, who wins?
Me personally, I believe Ryan Garcia.
Knockout or by point?
I would say that fight ends in a knockout.
Raleigh is talking about shocking the world, proving people wrong, and making his own statement. He has something to prove and sees this fight as the biggest moment of his career. But Ryan, along with most experts and fans, isn't looking at it that way. Nobody sees it as an emotional battle, they view it as business. And for everyone, business is simple: land the left hook, knock Raleigh out, and move on.
Rolly, he just said he's looking past you to fight Devin Haney. Does this concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight, and you're just going to be a bump in the road.
He can think whatever he wants. He knows me too well.
8th round. Garcia has not...
It could be that Ryan Garcia is only talking about how dangerous Raleigh is just to hype up the fight. He might not actually see Raleigh Romero as a real challenge. But Raleigh is making sure everyone knows he's not just here to collect a paycheck. He's here to make it personal. If there's one thing Raleigh knows how to do, it's talk. And he's been doing plenty of it leading up to this fight. From the moment this matchup was announced, Raleigh has been throwing shots at Ryan, not just as a fighter, but as a person.
To be honest, Rolly right now probably runs his mouth the most, but he can't back it up. There's a difference between me and him. I talk a lot of trash, but I've been backing up everything I've been saying so far, but probably Rolly.
What do you think of his fight with Ryan that's been announced? They're fighting in May in Times Square, New York City.
I think that's a better fight for Ryan, publicity-wise, than Isak Cruz, and I think...
Raleigh isn't just claiming he's going to win, he's going further. He's saying Ryan isn't even a serious boxer. He's calling him a model, someone who cares more about his looks and Instagram followers than actually winning fights. And that's not just trash talk, it's a direct jab at Ryan's pride. Fighters don't take kindly to being told they're not real boxers, and Raleigh knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get under Ryan's skin, make him emotional, and make him reckless. Because if Ryan fights with emotion instead of sticking to his strategy, Raleigh believes he can land a big punch. In an interview with Ring magazine, Raleigh didn't hold back. He dismissed Ryan's skills, claiming he hasn't grown as a fighter and still makes the same mistakes he did years ago. Some fans even see Raleigh as having the upper hand in this matchup.
So Raleigh going up to 147, there's many possibilities. There's the possibility of him having a better chin, which I'm not sure if he's going to have a better chin. There's probably the possibility of him being faster, stronger at 147. But him moving up to 147, the only thing I think that he's really going to get is him having a better chin, because at 140, he was getting hurt multiple times. His last fight, he didn't get hurt. He's a little bit, if I'm being...
Counterpunching the longer reach, the taller guy.
Raleigh knows what he's talking about. He sparred with Ryan before, back when Abel Sanchez was still training him. That experience gave him plenty of confidence. He remembers the areas where Ryan struggled and what worked against him. Raleigh believes nothing has changed. He says Ryan is still making the same mistakes, and he doesn't see him as a real threat. But Raleigh isn't just targeting Ryan. He's also calling out Devin Haney, accusing him of not taking his fight seriously. Raleigh says Haney is more of an untalented social media star than a true champion.
Like, I'll be honest, I used to think Devin Haney was the most boring fighter in the dance sport. But at least Devin Haney tries to knock people out. It's just Devin Haney just has the inferior, genetics, His genetics are beyond horrible with his sloppy legs and his weak body frame and all that stuff,
This is all part of Raleigh's strategy. He wants to get inside Ryan's head, making him think, is that how people really see me? Raleigh's goal is to plant doubt in Ryan's mind, making him feel like he has something to prove. He wants Ryan to forget his game plan and go for a knockout just to shut him up. That's exactly what Raleigh is hoping for. He wants Ryan to take risks, leaving openings that will give him the chance to land the perfect shot.
He's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. The only people he cannot be happens to be myself, Gervonta Davis, and depression.
Now working with Joe Goosen.
Yeah, Joe Goosen has done it really.
Raleigh has always been a fighter who thrives on unpredictability. He may not be the most technical boxer, nor the fastest or the most skilled, but what sets him apart is his ability to create chaos. He throws wild punches from odd angles and hits with real power. Many experts believe he has even gotten better over time.
Think Ryan handles cleans up Raleigh?
I do.
Think he wants to fight? Yeah,
I think for both fighters obviously the common opponent right there. I think that both fighters, obviously Ryan just fought Tank. Yeah. I think he'll be better since fighting Tank. Yeah. And then the same thing with Raleigh. I think Raleigh became better from fighting Tank. I think that they knew certain mistakes that they made. I think they believed in their game plan.
Raleigh's biggest flaw is his lack of precision. He can be sloppy at times. However, if he can get Ryan to fight emotionally instead of sticking to his strategy, those wild punches could actually land. That's why he's been so aggressive with his trash talk. He knows that getting inside Ryan's head is his best shot at winning this fight. And it's working.
Putting Ryan on there is kind of smart, that's right there. But then it's a solid match. Listen, Raleigh and Ryan's an interesting fight because Raleigh's hit or miss, bro. Raleigh sometimes looks like where'd you find this guy off the corner, but sometimes he performs. There's a sparring session with Ryan and Raleigh on YouTube where it looks like Raleigh's doing pretty well in there. I'm curious about that fight. Raleigh's back against the wall. He's got to perform. Everybody's curious about Ryan coming back. You got Devin Haney on the undercard against Ramirez. He's in court with Ryan. What happens if they cross paths to the Wayne, even though they're not fighting each other?
Longer reach, the taller guy in Garcia.
Ryan may not admit it, but it's clear that Raleigh's words are starting to get under his skin. Ryan's getting more involved in the back and forth, responding to Raleigh's insults, and showing that he's taking this fight personally. That's exactly what Raleigh wants. He wants this fight to feel like a personal feud, not a technical boxing match. His goal is to get Ryan to fight with his pride instead of sticking to his skills.
When I sparred him, I was only boxing for 3 years. 4 years at the time.
You didn't have a really deep amateur background,
I started boxing at 17.
Okay. And Ryan was a national, a multinational champ?
Yeah, started boxing 5 or something. Damn, it took him that long to evolve somewhat? I'm very impressed. He still hasn't been champion though.
Fair enough.
And the only times that he's ever had the opportunity to be champion was with Gervonta, but instead of trying to sacrifice the extra pound and trying to make 130.
While Raleigh is stirring things up, Ryan is making some big changes of his own. One of the biggest surprises leading into this fight is that Ryan won't have Eddie Reynoso in his corner. That was the original plan. Ryan was supposed to reunite with the trainer who helped shape him into one of the fastest and most dangerous counterpunchers in the sport. But with Canelo Alvarez getting ready for his own fight on May 3rd, Reynoso had to focus on his star pupil. That left Ryan needing a new option. Instead of bringing in a big-name coach, Ryan decided to turn to the person who knows him best, his father, Henry Garcia.
And that's exactly what happened. And I just thank God that look at him now. Doesn't he look better?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. So,
He looks different.
It's better. It's beautiful. I love it.
Henry, when did you notice that Ryan needed like real help in order to the way he sees right now, in order that he became, clean?
And Garcia.
It's a big decision for Ryan. He's worked with some of the best trainers in boxing, like Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James. But for this fight, he's choosing to put his trust in his father, Henry Garcia. This move is both a risk and a bold statement. It's a risk because Henry Garcia isn't a highly experienced, professional trainer with a long history of championships. But it's also a statement because it shows Ryan's confidence in himself. He doesn't feel the need for a well-known trainer in his corner. He knows exactly what he needs to do. After all, he's been in enough high-level fights to understand what's required. When he was asked about the change, Ryan explained it simply. He told Ring Magazine that the circumstances just didn't work out this time. So, for this fight, he'll be training with his dad.
You got the best left.
The best left in the world.
Well, what's your take? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.